Hey, it's Mike. I thought I'd show you case 3 for cases which will never appear on Murder Mile. This is Lexington Street. We've been here before. That was case 2 just down there. Ginger A was actually just the end of that street as well. This is Lexington Street. All these buildings didn't exist kind of post-war because they were bombed out. Loads of ex-air raid shelters here. This is a story. It could be real or it could be a myth. We don't know. A lot of locals seem to know about it, but there's very little that I can prove. There's nothing in the National Archives, there's nothing in the press. It didn't seem to go to court, so it's a little bit of a confusing one. What seems to have happened is there was a local policeman. He's either called Hepster, or it was Ralston. No one seems to be able to narrow it down. He was a local policeman, slightly old. It was the interwar years, so there was very few police on the streets, and those were here who were kind of like ex-policemen who'd retired and kind of come back. Apparently, he was he liked enforcing the rules. He was quite a tough copper. He came across a pimp, a well-known pimp called Johnny Piera. We believe his name's Johnny Piera, but we can't narrow it down, or whether Johnny is just a nickname. Johnny Piera, not a nice man, nasty piece of shit, as people seem to say, was treating one of the sex workers really badly, as was his thing. He was kind of an enforcer. Down there is kind of Brewer Street. That used to be the area where all the sex workers used to hang out. That was where they pick up. This was the street where actually Ginger Ray would come back and forth with her customers. Johnny Piera, as mentioned, was beating up one of the sex workers. PC, Hepstead or Ralston or whatever his name was, saw him, took him into here where all of the air raid shelters were. Instead of arresting him, he knew that if he arrested him, nothing would really happen. He'd just get a caution, he'd be sent off. You know, there's the police's kind of focus at that era was really to focus on things like blackmailing or especially deserters, because this was the interwar years. So he got Johnny Piera, took him into where all the air raid shelters in there, put his head down on a brick, one of the parts of the air raid shelter, and then stamped on the back of his head. Not only did this break his teeth, but it also broke Johnny Piera's spine, and he was dead. And that's all we know. That's all we know. No one was arrested for it, and whether it's real, we don't actually know. I'm still searching for details now of both these people, but because we don't know their names and nothing was in the papers, it all could just be a myth, or it could be real. Who knows?